Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mr. Holland with a recap of the week of August 26th. So, what we have here is, if you remember, on Tuesday, I had this presentation for you. And basically, what the presentation was effective communication for entrepreneurs. The communication cycle is broken up into two parts. You have a sender and you have a receiver. You've got the message and then you have feedback. These can change their roles at any given time depending on the message and feedback. They go both ways, okay? Purpose of communication, obviously, the big thing was you want to be clear, concise, and straightforward with what you're saying, what you're trying to convey, what idea you're trying to portray to your audience or to your potential market or your potential investors. Effective communication, once again, uses clear, concise, and straightforward language, conveys your point in a manner that produces the action that you want. The importance of communications for entrepreneur, obviously you need to be able to explain, discuss, sell, and market your goods or services. You need to be able to express yourself clearly, both verbally and in writing. The 5 must answer questions: what do you want to say? Who is your market? What does your market want? Why do you need to sell your idea? And finally, why do you need to believe in your idea? What do you want to say? Figure out what you want to say and why. Say it simply, clearly, and concisely. Who's your market? Know and understand your market. Identify your market. Create market specific objectives. Pitch your sale directly to the market. What does your market want? Figure out what your customers need and want to know in order to buy your product. Remember, I went over the example of Man of Steel and how it incorporated a multitude of marketing techniques from literally infant all the way up to the elderly, between hair products, facial products, Colgate toothpaste. They used all sorts of um, Ritz crackers, cereal boxes, even clothing and apparel. Man of Steel was the most successful in using marketing for a movie in the history of mankind thus far. Of course, movies have only been around a little over 100 years, so that record will probably be broken here in the near future. Why do you need to sell your idea? Because you want financing and you want your product to sell. Create compelling stories so that venture capitalists and customers can understand and finance or buy your product. Again, this whole idea of selling your idea, this all went into the portion that I talked about with Shark Tank and how the entrepreneurs that come in, they have to literally sell their idea to that audience, those millionaires and billionaires that are ready to invest. Why do you believe in your brand? Because if you don't, no one else will. Be confident, display logic, use clear language to sell your product. Again, you've got to believe in what you're selling. You've got to believe in your product. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you've got to understand that, look, sometimes ideas may seem crazy, but you got to put forth that effort and most of all, believe in what you're doing. How to communicate effectively. 3 ways for effective communication: speaking, body language, and writing. Articulate your message clearly. Deliver your message in a manner that is consistent with your message, and anticipate investors' and customers' responses. Control your body language. Listen actively with eye contact, nods, gestures, and brief comments. Your tone, facial expression, and posture should be consistent. Again, people know when you're not paying attention to them. People know. Whether you're looking away or looking down at your phone or looking at the computer or whatever, if you're engaging in conversation and you're supposed to be listening, put forth that effort and listen actively. Keep writing simple and straightforward. With written communication, less is more. Okay? Avoid jargon, cliches, and repetition. Keep it clear and consistent and make it interesting. Further writing tips for your business plan. Can you describe who you are and what you do to someone who isn't in your industry in 30 seconds? Again, avoid jargon, cliches, repetition. Keep it clear and consistent. Be crisp and get to your point quickly. Include all relevant information. Use a conversational but professional tone and reinforce your message. It's just like an essay, like I mentioned. You have an introduction, you have the body, the meat and potatoes of what you're trying to say, and then you have your final closing with the reinforcement of the message you're trying to portray. Make it interesting. Explain the what and why of your service or product. Focus on how your service or product benefits investors and customers. And once again, the communication cycle. Again, you have a sender and a receiver, interdependent, okay? The sender can become the receiver at any time, and the receiver can become the sender. Thank you for watching.